Anthony Davis had to sit down with Shams Charania. All right, so it's kind of fascinating here. I already know I'm going to frustrate Laker fans because there's going to be a lot of people that say, Al, I told you so. How many times have we been talking about this? But let me get into, what the article was about. And I really want to spend time making sure that the Lakers front office knows exactly what their priorities are and understands what voices are heard and which ones should be louder than the others. Okay, so let me tell you what I mean by that. Anthony Davis sat down with Shams of ESPN and basically made it very clear what he wants the Lakers to do before the deadline. All right, so let me kind of weave off of some of this stuff about last night's game, and let me kind of talk a little bit more. Let me talk a little bit more about that article and kind of moving forward for the Lakers. All right, let me read you guys the quote of what Anthony Davis said, and then there's going to be Laker fans that have a migraine, but let's get into it anyways, okay? Anthony Davis, in the sit-down interview with Shams, was talking about what the Lakers need, and then he specifically started talking about 2019 and 2020. He says, I think we need another big. I feel like I've always been at my best when I've been a 4 and having a big out there. We know it worked when we won a championship with JaVale and Dwight, them at the 5, and I'm on the floor. Okay, then he went on to talk about, I think our 2019-2020 team was the perfect construction of a team. We had shooters, we had dogs defensively, we had scores. Everybody knew their role. Okay. And then Shams says, it sounds like to me that you're saying you guys are maybe a couple pieces away. We are. I feel like we really are. All right. A lot of angles to take on this. Okay. First off, I know there's Laker fans out there right now that are saying, Slee, I told you, man. I've had so many people over the years tell me, Slee, why did they break up the 2019-2020 championship team? Why? All right, maybe the Lakers got too cute. But I will tell you this. We'll never know what that team could have been because Anthony Davis got injured in the playoffs. Remember, they got Dennis Schroeder. Remember, they got Marc Gasol. Remember, they got Montrezl Harrell. I think the Lakers had a stacked roster in 2021 as well, 2020-2021 season. But Anthony Davis got hurt. First, second round, I can't remember, against the Phoenix Suns. And Lakers end up losing that series. I think they were up 2-1. AD goes down. That's a wrap. Lakers lost 5-6 games. I think 6 games is where they lost. And then Phoenix ends up losing in the finals against the Milwaukee Bucks. Interesting that Anthony Davis, before the trade deadline, in a conversation with Shams, is saying that blueprint that you had there, bring that blueprint back as best as you can, right? Like that team was, we forget how stacked that team was. Earlier in the week, I think I was talking about it. Think about all the play. LeBron and Anthony Davis 5 years ago. So you're talking about LeBron 35 years old, and whether you were thinking that was the end of his career or not, okay, clearly it wasn't, and he was an absolute stud back then. Anthony Davis, 5 years younger. Okay, and then go through the rest of the team. Dwight, JaVale, Rajon Rondo, Danny Green, Avery Bradley, Kyle Kuzma, KCP, Alex Caruso. That team was so stacked. All right, you can't go back to what that Lakers team was, but what you can say is, can you potentially build a model that's similar to that? Let me put aside what the 2019-2020 season was and what the Lakers had. Here's the most important thing that I took from that quote that Anthony Davis had. AD is not, maybe I got to imagine Anthony Davis has had plenty of conversations in the background with guys like Rob Pelinka, with that front office, and he's told them, here's what I'm looking for. Get me another big. I'm going to be more effective. There's more that I could do defensively. I could kind of roam around a little bit more. And oh, by the way, if there's times you need me at the 5, that's fine. But at least let's have an option of having a good big that I could play side by side with, because I had it with Dwight and JaVale McGee, and that's when I was at my best. He's pleading to the Lakers front office He probably had these conversations in the background. Now he's like, I'm going to sit down with Shams. F it. I'm just going to tell Shams exactly what I'm looking for. There was an article a couple days ago. Remember that there was growing concern of how the Lakers can put together a roster, a championship roster with the assets that they have, and they still haven't used them. If I'm Rob Pelinka and I'm sitting down this morning and that interview came out last night, I'm going to do absolutely everything possible to give the most important player on our franchise exactly what he wants. I'd be doing that anyways. I would have done that before there was a conversation that had to come out with Shams Charania. Who is the most important player on this Lakers roster right now today? It ain't LeBron. It's Anthony Davis. If you don't think it's Anthony Davis, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm not taking anything away from LeBron James, but he's 40 years old, and I don't know a year from now if he's still going to be playing in the NBA. I don't know if 2 years from now he's been retired and the Lakers completely moved on. I know Anthony Davis is the present and he is the future. I know if Anthony Davis doesn't play in a game, the Lakers are screwed. I know if Anthony Davis decided tomorrow, you know what? I was playing for the Lakers to give me what I wanted and they didn't do it. You know what? If LeBron's done here, I think I'm done as well. What are the Lakers going to do then? They're screwed. Absolutely screwed. You have to make sure Anthony Davis is happy. Anthony Davis is the most important piece within that franchise. When they play right now, if you tell me, you go top to bottom, look at the roster, look at the front office, look at the coaching staff, any personnel of the Los Angeles Lakers, the most important person within that organization is Anthony Davis. It took Anthony Davis to go sit down with Shams on ESPN to tell the whole world, I need another big. You're going to tell me that hasn't been happening indirectly behind the scenes? And of course it has. Anthony Davis has to go public to tell everybody. You think this is going to help Rob Pelinka in his negotiations? You think this morning Rob is going out there and he's saying, oh, shit, you know what? Guys, Anthony Davis wants to play with a big. Let me give Utah a quick call real quick, see where they are with Walker Kessler. You know what? Wizards, let me shoot them a call real quick. Jonas still available? What's going on there? Do you think those teams, like the Utah Jazz with Danny Ainge, knowing how desperate Anthony Davis is basically pleading this Lakers team, get me another big, you think they're going to sit back there and say, you know what, the price just went down on Walker Kessler. The price just went down on Jonas Valanciunas, Robert Williams. Think of any big that you want. I'm just talking about bigs in general, right? Names that have been associated with the Lakers. Of course, the price didn't go down. That's the problem with yesterday's quote. That's the problem with yesterday's video with Anthony Davis and Shams. Anthony Davis is opening up to Shams. Through Shams, he's telling the front office and everybody else, get me a damn big. Guys, listen. What was it, a few days ago after the Lakers played the loss to the Clippers on Sunday night, LeBron had the quote about team construction. This is the way the team is constructed. We got no margin for error. Bron was indirectly telling the front office, this isn't good enough. We can't compete with this. I'm not telling you that LeBron's message is not important, but what I'm telling you is Anthony Davis's message is a lot more important. Because Anthony Davis, 2 years from now, you're hoping is still a Los Angeles Laker. You're hoping is now we've put a team together around Anthony Davis and another star. I don't think Anthony Davis is going to be your A player and that's it. But Anthony Davis is going to be the guy that you're hoping for in 2 years is the box office attraction, is taking the Lakers to the playoffs and potentially to the promised land. That's what you're hoping for. It ain't going to be LeBron. If this was 2019, 2020 and LeBron said something, everybody else shut up. LeBron's talking. But in 2025, on January 24th, 2025, when AD speaks, everybody else shut the hell up. That's how I look at it. And I don't know if, Rob Pelinka is making his life any easier by simply, not accommodating to what Anthony Davis wants. All right, let me look at some of the comments here and then go from there. All right, let's see here. I'm way behind on the comments, so I'm going to keep going here. By the way, this makes nobody's job any easier. And I 100% believe I'm going to kind of explain this from a Pelinka perspective in just a second as well. All right, let's take a look at some of these comments here. Get Robert Williams. Okay, I'm going to get into which player they should get because there was an article yesterday about Walker Kessler that I want to talk about. And then that price is going up. All right, let's read one here. Al, when Bron retires, AD will ask out. Watch, they need a wake-up call if they don't get him a big. The front office needs what Jimmy to happen to their superstar leaving them. Well, here's the beauty. I don't think Anthony Davis has ever showed he doesn't want to be a Laker. It feels like Anthony Davis likes being here. What I don't know about Anthony Davis, would AD say down the road, okay, well, if Bron's done, you know what? Let me try a different chapter. I want to go somewhere else. I don't have that answer. I have no idea if that's going to happen. But I also wouldn't be surprised at all that Anthony Davis stays with the Lakers long term. Is here for the next 5 years. I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Davis is here. You got to accommodate to him. You have to accommodate to Anthony Davis. All right, let me see what else we got here. AD saw Joker's stats last night and panicked. Everybody panics with Joker. Pelinka won't give up any first-round picks. No trade will happen with a great player. Slee, let me translate AD's request. We have exactly zero chance to beat Denver in playoffs unless we get a big. Our own fans calling 2020 luck is blasphemy. Y'all got to be – that team came together perfect. That team was stacked. Anybody that doesn't think that team couldn't have won a championship without the bubble or whatever the case is, I don't know what the hell you want me to tell you. That team was stacked. 2019, 2020, the team was stacked. By the way, the team was top 3 in the NBA as far as record goes, and they were also one of the favorites to win an NBA championship. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. Could they have lost if COVID didn't happen? Sure. But it's not a surprise that they won either. All right, if you enjoyed this clip and you want more, just subscribe to the channel. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the Sliwa Show. And then after every Lakers game, post-game show right here.